doing, folks? Welcome to the Dash of Élan. Got a gameplay for you today. Victory and Glory Napoleon. Some of you might recognize that as an actual board game, and well, guess what? It is. This is basically the board game for your computer, and it is mighty good fun. I've been playing it for the past few weeks recently. You can pick it up on Steam, by the way, if you have a Steam account. This game is available on there, Victory and Glory, and I've been playing it quite a bit for the past few weeks. I'm by no means good at this game, but it is so fun. It has a lot of Napoleonic flavor and feel, so if you're interested in that era, that period of history, this might whet your appetite. Now, first thing we're going to do, well, first of all, I should say that the music in the background is not the soundtrack of Victory and Glory. I don't want to be playing that in the background, but it is beautiful music. It's well done. A lot of good period feeling music, classical, that sort of thing. But just to get that out of the way, I'm going to click New Game, and we're going to get this started. This is going to be a full-on campaign, which could take a while, depending on if I conquer all the other nations or not. There's a bunch of campaigns here. The main campaign is what we're going to be focused on for this Series 1 gameplay, and it's 1805 Dash for the Danube. Pretty good starting point. And by the way, these campaigns are actually starting points. They're not actually a proper scenario where it's got an end point and end point, or start point and end point. These are just starting points, and the length of this campaign can go all the way up to 1815 or 1816, I believe. Here's the description. I'll read it for you. 1805 Dash for the Danube. This is your shining moment. Turning from your planned invasion of England, you prepare to march the Grand Armée across France and into Germany in a lightning strike to defeat the Austrian and Russian armies and capture Vienna. You are currently at war with Great Britain, Austria, and Russia. You must defeat their armies in the field and capture their capital to force each nation to the peace table. Once they are defeated, no one will be in a position to stand in your way as you dominate the minor nations of Germany and Italy, increasing your power and control over Europe. Eve of Austerlitz. So that's the backdrop to this campaign. And like I said, it can go up to about 1815 or 16, where the game will end, or the campaign. If Napoleon gets killed, obviously the campaign will end prematurely. So let's get into this. Let's start it up and begin this. Difficulty, we're going to jump to general. Not that I'm that good. I'll probably be defeated, in fact. But at least you guys will see how I was defeated in horrible detail. Let's commit to that. Nice little load screen here. And here we go into the main game. Now, this is the map, of course. This is Europe, Great Britain over here, France down here behind these dark blue borders. These areas are France. These colored nations here, light brown type color, that is neutral nations. They don't belong to anybody. They can be taken under your control. For example, I have taken Belgium, which is a neutral country, but it's now part of the empire. As you can see, it's shaded in blue like France. You can do that by playing certain cards, and I'll get to the cards in a moment. Let's see, Spain is neutral, as you can see. We have the British down in Gibraltar, of course. I have a nice big chunky fleet here. I hope I don't forget to move him. He's out in the waters there. I want to get him out of the Barbary coast and in a port up here near Italy. Let's see. Here's the Austrians, of course. They are at war with me. As a matter of fact, let's take a quick look at the diplomacy part of the map. The Prussians are up here. Silesia, Pomerania, East Prussia. Let's click diplomacy. One of the first things I do is look at the diplomacy screen. France, 0 political points. Use your political points to influence the other nations. For the French, you want to increase these diplomatic ratings. Get them above 2, because if they're 0, 1, or 2, like Austria is 1 here, they're easier to go to war with. Well, Britain can sway them to go to war against the French. So he's 1 and he's at war with me, the Austrians. Prussians, their diplomatic rating is 5, and they're a neutral power. so that they're not at war with me yet. Russia at war, they're at 1. Spain is friendly neutral. Now, as opposed to being just neutral, like Prussia, they're friendly neutral. Get a little happy smile there. And what that means is that my troops, the French troops, can move through their territories. Normally, you can't move through a neutral power's territories, a major power anyway. Regions. This is the region of Germany. It's a bunch of separate little areas, actually. It's called Germany. Same thing with Italy. It's a bunch of separate little areas. They're considered their own regions and have their own diplomatic ratings. And both are considered neutral to me. As major nations, I can actually move through them without any problem. As you can see, I have an army down here in Naples, and that's Sitzer. He's down here. I'm going to actually want to move him up to the Papal States pretty quick. So let me get this out of the way before I forget. Because one of the things I want to do is take control of Italy. And the way I do that is to play cards. And the next thing we're going to look at is those cards. The event cards. And I got 2 pages worth of them here, actually. Let's see what we got on the other page. Consolidate the Empire. This is a useful card. Gives victory points. You can win the game through victory points. I'll get into that in a moment. But I forfeit all my actions for the turn. And I'll get 4 victory points. So I'm not going to do that. I want to be able to move my stuff. Let's see. Napoleon's genius will be used in battles. We'll go into that when we have some battles. Minor nation joins the empire. These are useful cards. I can take a minor nation, one of those light brown areas, and I can, if as long as it has French troops in it, I can play this card, and boom, it becomes part of the empire, the French Empire. Unfortunately, it gives Great Britain political sway, political points, actually, which they can use to sway the other nations, the major nations, against me. Kingdom of Bavaria will be useful once Austria is defeated. Get into that later. Forced march, that allows an army with a commander that's already moved to move again. So it's pretty useful. Normally, armies can only move one area, one space. Kingdom of Northern Italy. Now, this card I want to make use of as soon as I can. French troops must occupy Piedmont, Milan, Venice, and the Papal States. You will gain 5 Italian units. That'll be useful. Austria will move 4 spaces down the diplomatic track, which is irrelevant at the moment because they're at war with me. So playing this won't make things any worse. It's already worse. Recruit minor nation troops in Italy. Imperial Guard will be a useful card. I can convert one of my line troops, my French regular infantry, into an Imperial Guard unit. So that'll up its combat rating, which would be nice. Kingdom of Spain declared. There's an interesting card. I don't think I've seen this one. Let's see what it is. French troops must occupy Madrid. All Spanish regions join the French Empire, and Spain cannot become independent until liberated. You will gain 2 allied units in Madrid. Interesting. All right. So there's our cards. Now, the cards are important in this game. They really add the flavor and feel for the Napoleonic Wars. They allow you to do all kinds of cool things. Otherwise, you're just moving troops on a map and fighting battles. So they really add a lot to the game. So pay attention to your cards. Make use of them. You can play as many as you want during your turn. Sometimes they replace activations. And you have a random number of activations every turn. In this case, I have 3. I think I started with 4. And I moved him, so that would knock me down to 3. Let's see what else we got. First thing I want to do is find all my generals. Sena. Where's Napoleon? There he is. He's up here. All armies on the map are maxed at 20. There are cards you can play that can go above that, I think. Napoleon has a card that allows him to go up to 25, for instance. Let me move him out of the way. That's not actually a move. He didn't leave this area. So you can move units or armies around within the same area. Doesn't count as an actual move. Marma. And I want to find Davu. Okay, where is Davu? I guess he's in here with me. Yeah, he is. He's a pretty good commander himself. He's a 10. Napoleon, by the way, is a 12. Oop. You have to remember the right click off of an army when you want to click on another army in the area. Otherwise, it'll join them together. Let me check. See, Napoleon's at 12. Who's in here with him? Soult, Lannes, Ney, Marat. So Soult's going to be pretty useful. Basically, in general, if a commander or a general is a 5 or less, you don't want to fight too many battles with them. That's garbage. If you've got an 8 or a 7 or higher, that's great. What do we got back here? Okay, and there's the militia in Paris. So the first thing we want to do is we want to engage Austria as quickly as possible. We're at war with them in Russia, as well as Great Britain. So to take them out of the war, we have to do two things. These little symbols here. You see one here in Venice, one here in Vienna. They're the capitals. These are the regions I have to capture, have under my control, kick him out of the area, basically, by winning battles, and hold them for at least a turn, I believe. And then they're out of the war. They've been defeated, and that'll be that. So that's how you take them out, and that's what I'm going to focus on, taking out Vienna and Venice. Venice is doubly important because it also helps me to create the Kingdom of Italy with this card, if you remember. Right here, French troops must occupy Piedmont, Milan, Venice, which is the one that's controlled by the Austrians, and the Papal States. So I have to have troops in those 4 areas. Here's the Papal States. Piedmont and Milan is right here. Move this guy out of the way. You can see Milan is right here. Well, let me move him up. There, Milan. And Venice is the only other one I have to occupy, so we're going to have to take him out. Unfortunately, this is an army controlled by Prince Charles. Or Charles, what am I thinking? We want to try and defeat this army. This is the main army. Charles is obviously focusing in the south or north of Italy. He's got another big army here under Ferdinand, watching Vienna. Let's see what we got over here in Bavaria. Not much. Now, you need a general to move armies, and there's no general here, so this army in Bavaria cannot move. It's all Bavarians. That's the light blue color here. Dark blue is French nationality. So these are Bavarians. As you can see, here's another army here under Messina. It's dark blue corner is French, and the light blue is Allied. And a little bit weaker troops, as you can see. What are they? If you right-click them, they'll tell you who they are. This is an Italian nationality. Going to the French Empire. We got some light cannon. Or no, they're heavy cannon. These are light cannon. They look like dragoons, medium cav. These are lights, I believe. These are French regulars. So that's a pretty decent army there, but it's totally outclassed by Charles. So I think, since I can't move this army without a general, I'm going to take him and fall him back to here. And we're going to join together. Just a little double arrow. Click that, so we'll throw them all in the same army. And we'll see what Charles does. Now let's get to Napoleon. I really don't focus on the naval side of this, at least early on, because we're so outclassed by the British Navy. We move Napoleon in. Davout, I want him to start moving into Germany. He's going to have to deal with the Prussians soon. So let me see. He's got an army of 5. What is here? Well, see, I accidentally combined them with Marmont, which I don't want to do because I like having, well, actually Marmont isn't very good on his own, so you know what, we'll leave them combined for the moment. I like to have my generals all over the place. Let's keep yourself moving around. Now, Westphalia. I do occupy it. There is a card I can play. And minor nation joins the empire. Basically, what happens with this is if I have troops in that minor nation, it will join the empire by playing this card. They'll turn blue. And it gives Great Britain 2 political points. It gives me troops from there, basically. Well, it'll be part of the nation anyway. Actually, I don't think I'm going to play that right away. I don't like the idea of giving the British political points early on. or ever, actually, because they use those points, as I said, to manipulate the other major nations, to get them to go to war against me. And I could see Germany is one region I have to keep an eye on, and so is Prussia. They'll eventually be going to war with me. I have no political points, if you remember. We are at 0. And I get them through various things. One way to get them is to conquer nations, take them out of the war. In this case, when I take out Austria, I'll get about 4 diplomacy points. And I can use those points to boost the diplomatic ratings of certain regions, like Germany, for instance. So I do have a general back here as well. He's going to be my reserve. I've got small fleets here. Here's a 4, here's a 2, here's 1 up here. And if you look, the British have fleets of their own basically surrounding me. They have a 2 here. They have a nice big 6 here. They have a fleet of 2 squadrons here. And it might not seem like much, but the British fleets are very powerful. I really don't want to engage them at all. And here they got a nice 7. Now, this one I almost forgot. I have a big fleet of 8. Now, you can move 3 sea areas in a turn. In my case, I just want these guys to move to port. Oh, I can't do that. Why not? I'll show you a little wheel. Oh, I've used all my activations. I can't move them. Oh, I made a mistake then. Because chances are his fleet will engage mine. Now, hopefully they'll retreat on their own, or I'm going to voluntarily retreat them. Hopefully escape. Probably not. We'll see what happens. But there's the first turn. May, June, 1805. Let's click this button and see what happens. Let's see, the British fleets are on the move. He's consolidating them into bigger fleets. Became a 9. He's going after my fleet down here. He's got 9 squadrons. I have 8. I don't want to fight him, so we're going to attempt to retreat with this fleet of 8 squadrons. And we'll commit to that. The enemy fleet is attacking, so I failed to escape. So I have to fight this battle at least 2 turns before the option to withdraw or retreat, as it's worded here, appears to me. Right now it's grayed out. So we'll fight this for a couple turns. British have an advantage right away, not only because their squadrons are larger than mine. They're 4s, mine are 3s, or 2s in the case of Spain. The Spanish ships, which are working with me here. But they can have more squadrons fighting me at once in this front row, this row here. I can only have 6. British can have 7. So that's another way they have an advantage. We're going to click this and see who gets initiative, and it'll go back and forth, and ships will attack each other and take actions during their turn in the round. Select a ship. I have initiative. Well, we're going to focus our attention on one of these ships anyway and hope we do some kind of damage. You're going to pound me. Now, the naval battles, they're pretty straightforward. There's not a whole lot to them, unlike the land battles, which are divided up amongst minor battles and large battles. The Navy battles are kind of like very simplistic. You just click on a unit to shoot with, pick the target. That's it. There's not a whole lot to it. It's pretty much intentional. They want you to focus on the land battles. I mean, even during the Napoleonic Wars, France didn't really focus on the naval side of things. Not really. For good reason. The British were very dominant. Especially during this period. He captured one of my ships. So he'll take that back to port. Assuming he wins this battle, he'll take that back to his port and refit it. Let me fill in here from my reserve. There. Fight the next round. As you can see, I'm not doing very well. I don't have the best ships. I do have his lead ship here. Sunk him. Now you see, I'm happy with that. If the battle was to end right now, I would be happy. Even if I lose all these ships, at least I took out one Allied ship. That's how difficult it is. Alright, he sunk one of mine. Tip, he sunk two of them. It's okay, we got this. Actually, I'm not doing too bad. Disordered, that's what the D stands for. They'll be penalized when they attack and defend that particular squadron. Let's keep at it. Not concerned with capturing them, just want to destroy them. Nope, nothing. Spanish ships didn't help in that case. Alright, so he's going to fill in his battle line. I should do likewise. And let's fight the next round. Ooh, I could have retreated. Oh well. Fight one more round. See how good we do. Actually, I want to sink this ship here. If I could sink one more, that stops. Dastardly British. Goes another French ship. Yep, there he goes. That's pretty good for me. I sunk two British ships. Damn. That's pretty good. It's not easy. Historically, it wasn't easy. British, like I said, the British fleets were very dominant in the era. During playing this game, this particular campaign, I don't really focus on the British side of things, or on the naval side of things. Yeah, before I forget, let's retreat. So let's see if anything else is lost. No. Sire, we have suffered a major defeat at the Barbary coast. We have been completely defeated by the enemy fleet. This is a stunning turn of events. Perhaps Britannia does rule the waves. And this will show you your losses. The Allied ships lost. He had 2 sunk. I had 3 sunk, 1 captured. Yellow was the Spanish, blue were the French, red are the British, or the Allied. And that's a naval battle. He's going to finish up his turn here. Well, that's my fleet withdrawing to port. Preparing to move by sea. Enemy approaches. Hostile army has moved into the region of Bavaria, which is part of Germany. The army is commanded by John. He's ranked as a 4 and contains 4 infantry units, 1 cavalry, and no artillery. It's a mistake. You must prepare your defending forces to meet this threat. Now he's attacking an area which has 2 infantry, 1 cav, 1 artillery, and is commanded by a generic commander, which will be determined. There's no actual general in there. Well, let's fight this. See what happens. Give you guys a land battle for this session. See how it works. This is a minor battle, very smaller and straightforward. There's a concept of combined tactics, which in minor battles is actually represented by the way you deploy, as you see here. When a unit attacks, like say this cavalry's attack, if he has a different unit to his left and a different unit to him and on the left, to his right, he gets a bonus when he attacks. That's what would happen here because it's combined arms. His cavalry's got infantry to the left, artillery to the right. Combined arms bonus. If the artillery attacks, he's got 2 units to his left and right that are different from him and each other. So that's combined arms. That's how it's done in a minor battle. So when you pick your unit to attack with, look at the units to its left and right to see if he's combined arms. Preferably, you'd be like the cavalry and artillery here, where you've got different troop types around you. And it also applies when they're defending. So if the Austrian unit here was attacking this artillery, I get a combined arms bonus because I have the cavalry to my left and the infantry to my right. Looking at him, if this guy was the attacker, he would have a combined arms bonus for the cav, but not from this side because it's the same type as him. So his bonus, his combined arms bonus, wouldn't be as high as mine would be. So that's how combined arms tactics works with minor battles. In major battles, it's somewhat like this, but the actual positioning of the units doesn't matter. And I'll show you what we mean when we get to that. His rating is 4 for his commander. John, mine is 5, so I'll probably have a more likely chance to get initiative. I'll get a bonus in combat, and so on and so forth. They're deployed. Let's fight the round. Let's see how good we do in this miter fight. Oh, no, there goes my light artillery right off the bat. Well, they're not the best troops. They are allied troops. So this was a crazy turn at once. I didn't expect that. I wasn't paying attention, or just luck wasn't on my side. There, I attacked with my cav against his, did nothing. Let's attack with my infantry here, my Bavarians. I like the little graphics of the soldiers. That's actually pretty accurate there. Eliminated units are taken out of the battle. Routed units, ones marked with an R, can be rallied. Right now, I could just double click it and he could have a chance of rallying. But you know what? Well, I don't have much choice. I was going to retreat. So I'll attempt to rally. And by rallying, it will take his rating down 2 points for each time I rally a unit. So 5 will become 3 if I try to rally him. And he can do that up to twice. He can attempt to rally up to 2 units. So let's double click these guys and see if they rally. See how his rating dropped to 3? That was a failed attempt. Now I have a second one that I can use, but this would drop to 1. And I don't want it to go down any further. So we're just going to see what happens. We'll see if our cav can hold out. Once all the units in this line are defeated, the battle's over. We've lost and are forced to withdraw. And I have initiative now. Form square. That was stupid. I should have attacked this cav. Huh, surprised they're still standing. All right, that's the end. I can retreat now. So I'm going to take the retreat option. I have no cavalry to protect my withdrawal. He has cavalry to attack or to pursue with, so he's probably going to do some damage to me. And it'll show you the pursuit screen, and in this case the results of it. I wasn't paying attention. I guess nothing was lost, so my troops escaped. All right, so there we go, folks. That was our first land engagement. We'll let this turn finish here. The Austrians are moving about. The enemy approaches. Charles, rating 6, 12 infantry, 3 cav, 3 artillery, going against 3 infantry. And an artillery. And a commander rated 5. I got to attempt to retreat. Failed to retreat, which means it's a battle. So, yeah, he deploys first. In this case, I really don't want to fight this, but we're going to do it. And I'll show you another battle for this session. And that's it. Start it up. Goes to me. Now I have to fight at least 2 rounds. So this is a terrible start. To be expected, the Austrians are being pretty aggressive during this campaign. They're really focused on Italy, northern Italy, it seems. I'm focused on Vienna. I want to take them out. They do what they want with Italy, which is what they seem to be doing here. He routed. Try and take out his guns. One thing I'll show you here is during battles. Wait for my turn here. It's the end of the round. All right, first of all, it's the end of the round. Now I can attempt to rally, and I'll do so. Failed. I can do it again, but that'll drop his rating even further down. We don't want to do that, so we're going to fight the next round because I have no choice, really. And I just As you saw there, the units marked D had an opportunity to rally from that condition. The computer does that on its own. At the end of every round, every unit marked disrupted will attempt to rally itself from that condition. Units eliminated marked with an E are removed from the battle. You can't rally them. Now it's my turn. One thing you can do, if you click your unit you want to attack with, hover your mouse over a target and it'll give you some factors involving that unit as a target. Poor attack in this case, that'd be at a -5. -6 in this case. Let's see, -4 there. So all around he doesn't have a heck of a lot of good choices. Now, this unit is disrupted, it's grayed out, which means it's fatigued. In other words, it already took action in the turn. It does give you an advantage against them, but not much. This will be my best attack. And also it takes into account the combined arms. You get a bonus if each unit on either side of you is different. It's the same when you're defending. Like this target here, the artillery has infantry to his left and right. He doesn't have the biggest combined arms bonus he could have. That's why this unit here, who has nothing to his one side, is probably the best option. 0. So I'll attack him. Nothing. And we'll attack with our disrupted infantry. Let's see. -6. -2. Attacking cavalry is never good. -12. These guys are still fresh yet. So let's attack his disrupted infantry. Eliminated him. That was just good luck. I probably would have attacked his artillery instead. It's always a good target, artillery. Alright, so we're going to fight the next round, and retreat is an option now, and this is what I'm going to choose. So he's going to attempt to pursue. He scored 2 hits, I scored none because I had no cavalry. And we'll get into more details about how pursuits work as we play some more land battles. This shows you who died. Lost a general. Oh, I lost my general. Darn, I didn't see that. So that's not good. Because like I said, without generals you can't move your armies. I played a card. Political points. Recruitment in Britain. Yeah, okay. He's recruiting the British. Allied card played in Russia. So the Russians are recruiting. Remember, I'm at war with the Russians as well. It's just the Prussians who are neutral at the moment. It's also the Ottomans, but they generally don't come into play in this campaign, or at least early. Like the graphic representations of these guys. I mean, they're pretty close to what they were like. You know? Even Napoleon. I love it. It's good fun. Okay, folks, I think that's a good first start for this campaign. Not too shoddy. Spain is still neutral. Italy is still neutral, although they'll be pretty easy to sway. Venice has been vacated by the Austrians. I don't want to play another turn yet. But Charles is in the Papal States, so Messina is here. He's the only one opposing him. He has a decent army. I'm not afraid to take Charles out with that, so we'll see. Ferdinand is up here protecting Vienna, and there's a small army here under John in Bavaria. They just took Bavaria, which is unfortunate. Oh, no, they didn't. I have Bavaria. What happened up here? Remember, something to do with Bavaria. There was a battle fought here. Yeah, this was it right here. They had to withdraw from Bavaria. They were beaten by this guy. Napoleon is on his way. With little doubt, he's going to be moving into this region, taking Vienna. Davout. Where is he? Davout is here. Let me move him back a little. He is located here. He's going to start building up the army here for a future war against the Prussians and to support Napoleon's left flank. Now, let's check out the cards once again. Nothing new. Imperial Guard will be useful. Kingdom of Spain. I'll have to look into this card. I never had this card yet. But the Kingdom of Northern Italy I want to play. Kingdom of Bavaria created. Austria will lose 4. Yeah, there's really not much to use right here, unfortunately. So with that, we're going to end this session and this turn with July, August 1805. We're still doing pretty good. We're going to see what happens. I want to check out the diplomacy real quick here as well. Prussia's still at 5. Nothing has changed, really. Except Germany dropped from 4 down to 3. I have to keep an eye on this. I want Germany to turn on me. So with that, my friends, we're going to end this first session, and we're going to pick it off with the start of our turn and see if Napoleon can get in there to Vienna or Charles can take Italy. We'll see what happens, folks. Like, share, subscribe. Leave me some comments what you think about this. And this is a first run of this game, my first gameplay for this. So it'll be a series. I'll go as far as I can with this campaign. You guys can enjoy it. Leave your comments, feedback, and tactical suggestions, as always. Best way to play this. And I hope you enjoyed. So take care, folks. Remember, hang in there. It's only going to get better.